Hi there and welcome back to Clarkenomics. In this video we're going to talk about shifting supply curves. So first things first, before we get to shifting supply curves, let's talk about what it means to move along a supply curve. So remember that in a supply graph, a supply curve, the price is the independent variable and the quantity supplied is the dependent variable. So let's say that the price of buffalo wings decreases from point A, which was $10, to point B, which is $4. So there is a decrease in the price of buffalo wings. Be careful. Don't think that's going to shift the supply curve because it's not. All you're going to do is you're going to find a new quantity supplied for that new point. So like this, right? There you go. So as the price gets lower, right there, quantity supply gets lower, right there, because there's a positive relationship for supply between price and quantity supplied, right? When one goes up, the other goes up. When one goes down, the other goes down. So all you're doing in this is you're moving along the supply curve like that from point A to point B. You're just finding a new point because your Y variable changed and that caused a change in your X variable. So that's a movement along the supply curve. This is similar to how this went with demand. However, before you think that this is just like demand, you have to be super duper careful. All right, so let's take a look here. So watch this whole video. Don't turn this off and be like, okay, I got this. A shift in supply is moving the entire curve. So there's S1, there's our starting supply curve. Moving the entire curve can look a couple different ways. We can have a decrease in supply, which is a shift left. That is a decrease in quantity supplied at every price. That would look something like this. That is a decrease in supply. That is a shift to the left. So at any given price, S2 on S2, at any given price, the quantity supplied is going to be lower. Okay, an increase in supply is a shift right in the supply curve. That's an increase in quantity supplied at any price. So just like with demand, don't say up or down. Don't use those words. That's going to get you confused. But instead, just remember the following tip. Increase right, decrease left. This is the same as it was for demand. We use the acronym ERTL, with ERTL the turtle, to help us out with this. So that's how a supply shift looks. However, and this is where you have to be extremely careful. When you do demand curves, this whole increase right, decrease left thing is super easy. But when you do supply, it can be really, really, really tricky. So I'm going to show you another slide here where essentially things don't look obvious, but we just have to remember ERTL and remember our rules and we'll be just fine. So for instance, let's imagine that this was our first supply curve right here, S1. But now we've got a supply shift to S2. So my question to you is this an increase in supply or a decrease in supply? Look at it carefully. Remember ERTL. Okay, well, what about this one? Here's S3. Is that an increase in supply or a decrease in supply from S1? Look at it, think about it very carefully. Use ERTL. All right, so here come the answers. You ready? There you go. S3, the purple one, is a decrease in supply from S1, and S2, the blue one, is an increase in supply from S1. So hopefully you got that right, but if you didn't, let's take a look at why. The easiest way to go about this is to pick one price and make some comparisons. So I'm going to pick a price of 6. Look at that green dotted line that just came up. So let's first look at S1. What is the quantity supplied at a price of $6 on S1? Well, there's $6, there's our line. Quantity supplied would be 20. So at a price of $6 on S1, the quantity supplied is 20. On S2, at a price of $6, what is the quantity supplied? Well, there's $6. Follow it out to the blue one, which is S2. Go down, and there it is. So on S2, at that same price, the quantity supplied is higher than it was on S1. That's how you can tell it's an increase in supply. Let's do the same thing for S3 now. At a price of $6 for S3, quantity supplied is 10, right? And so the quantity supplied is lower for any given price on S3 than it is on S1. And the quantity supplied on S1 is lower at any given price than it is on S2. In other words, I show you this because it looks like, just if you casually glance at it, it looks like supply shifted down or shifted up. This is why we don't use the words up and down when we talk about shifting supply curves. We use left and right. So just remember, ERDL, increase right, decrease left. So be very, very careful with supply curve shifting because sometimes a shift to the right can look like a shift down and a shift to the left can look like a shift up, but they're not. So don't get confused about this. It's a real rookie mistake in economics, but you're going to be better than that because you got this. Thanks for watching.